Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Knight here, and I'm coming back at you again today, people, with a brand new Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm going to be ranking my favorite and least favorite skins from every single battle pass in Fortnite. So, I was originally going to do my favorite skin from every battle pass, but then I figured, you know what, that would just be kind of boring, because I'm literally just naming just about every tier 100 skin, with the exception of a couple tier 1 skins and some other stuff. So, I decided instead to spice things up, and I'm going to name my favorite and least favorite from every battle pass. So if you do enjoy it, then please feel free to leave a big fat thumbs up and subscribe, and with that said, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so starting off our list with Season 2 of Chapter 1, this is a pretty easy one to do because there's only 4 skins in total. And obviously the best one is going to be the Black Knight. I do think the Black Knight is an overrated skin, but I can't deny, like, for the first ever legendary skin, it is a good one. So, you know, in comparison to everything else in this battle pass, it 100% stands out the most as being the best. Now for the worst one, unfortunately I'm going to have to give it to one of the other two Knight skins, probably the Blue Squire. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but it is still, again, like, it's an old skin, so it kind of suffers from that. And when you compare it to all the other stuff in the battle pass, it really just can't compare. So there you go. Blue Squire at the weakest and Black Knight at the best. Alright, guys, now moving on to Season 3, I definitely have an idea in mind for what the best skin in the battle pass is, and that, in my opinion, has got to go to the Dark Voyager. Personally, I actually do think this one should have been the tier 100 skin from that season. A lot of people are probably thinking that when it was first leaked. But even though he's not, I still think he actually is a good, good battle pass skin, and definitely one of the better astronauts. Not as good as the Eternal Voyager, but still very strong. As for the weakest skin in the battle pass, I'm actually going to give this one to the Moonwalker. Most people would probably assume I would give it to the Mission Specialist, but honestly, I think both of them are pretty close in quality, but I think I just slightly prefer the Mission Specialist. So, therefore, I think I'm going to give the weakest spot to him on this one. Alright, and now moving on to Season 4, I'm actually going to say that this is probably one of the easiest ones to do because it's just one of those battle passes that's just so split-ended. You got some of the, like, best skins in the game in here, but then a lot of the other stuff is just kind of crap. So, as for the best one, it's a very obvious choice. It's got to be Omega, my favorite tier 100 skin and my favorite battle pass skin of all time, so it kind of just has to go to him by default. As for the weakest one, again, this is definitely not a hard decision. I'm giving it to Zoe. Zoe, yeah, just never liked her when she came out. I still hate her even to this day. She's just not doing it for me. So, Omega, though, definitely my favorite, and Zoe, without a doubt, is one of the worst battle pass skins of all time in my eyes. Alright, and now moving on to Season 5. Now, this one is a little bit tough to choose for the favorite because while most of it is garbage, the top two are really close to each other in quality. So you got Drift versus Ragnarok, but personally, I think I'm going to have to give it to Ragnarok just slightly, just because I think I slightly prefer the design of him, but Drift is still an amazing skin, an amazing tier 1 skin. So even though I'm not going to give it to him, I still really like them. As for the worst skin, this is actually another pretty obvious choice. It's going to be the Huntress. I don't really like anything in this battle pass, but the Huntress is definitely the one that stands out to be the worst to me. It's my least favorite tier 1 skin, and definitely my least favorite in this entire battle pass without a shadow of a doubt. Just not a good skin. In my opinion, Maeve from last season is probably what this skin should have been. Alright, and now moving on to Season 6. Once again, a very, very easy choice. It's got to be Dire. Calamity is an amazing tier 1 skin, and I actually do think DJ Under is great as well, but none of them competes with Dire, okay? Dire is just leagues above everything else in this battle pass. One of my favorite tier 100 skins of all time, just second behind Omega. Now, as for my least favorite skin from this battle pass, there's only like 2 legitimate contenders that go for this, in my opinion, and that's going to be Giddy Up or Nightshade. But I think Giddy Up's at least, like, entertaining and, like, laughably bad, if that makes sense. Meanwhile, Nightshade, I think, is just, yeah, not good. Not a good skin. It's just, you took the tomato head, painted it to look like a pumpkin, and slapped it onto the body of Fate. It didn't look, and it didn't look good, especially for a battle pass skin. That was, yeah, dark times when we saw that. Alright, and now moving on to Season 7. Again, there's probably 3 main contenders for this one, which are Ice King, Zenith, and Lynx. I love Ice King, and I love Lynx. Both of them are solid 10 out of 10 skins, but again, it was an obvious choice. I gotta give it to my man, Zenith. Alright, if you don't know, he's my favorite tier 1 skin in the game. I absolutely love this guy, I love the design, and even to this day, I still use him. Now, as for my least favorite skin in the Battle Pass, probably gotta give it to Trog. Yeah, just a meme skin that just fell flat on its face. I actually think most of the other stuff in the Season 7 Battle Pass is, like, solid, but this is just one skin that it just didn't hit the right mark. They tried to go for something, and it just didn't work. So, yeah, this is one of those cases where I gotta give it to the meme skin for my least favorite. Alright, and now moving on to Season 8. This is actually going to be the first one where my favorite isn't going to go to a Tier 1 or Tier 100 skin, although I do think the 2 Tier 1 skins this season are amazing. But I'm actually going to give this one to Ember. Ember, honestly, just a phenomenal skin. And in my opinion, it actually could have been a legendary skin if they just added some upgrades and stuff to her. But even with, like, regardless of that, she's still an amazing skin and 100% one of my favorite Battle Pass skins ever, and one of my favorite female skins of all time. As for my least favorite skin, this is so disappointing to do, but I'm going to have to give this one actually to the Tier 100 skin, Lux. Yeah, honestly, like, not only do I dislike Lux for the same reason everyone else does, which is the fact that she was a Tier 100, but I actually would say I dislike her even more so than most other people. I just don't even think she's a good-looking skin. Like, not only do I think she's, like, not a good Tier 100 skin, I just think she's just not a good skin in general. I'm just really not digging the design. In my opinion, you've heard me say this before, I think she should have been an uncommon item shop skin, but even then, I still wanted to spend a dime on her. Yeah, I think she's just a bad skin, so, like, for that reason alone, I think I dislike her, but the fact that she's a Tier 100 skin in a Battle Pass just makes it even worse for me. Alright, and now, moving on to the Season 9 Battle Pass. This is, again, probably one of my favorite Battle Passes of all time, simply because of the 4 progressive legendary skins they have, which are Singularity, Sentinel, Rocks, and Vendetta. All 4 of them, I think, are solid 10 out of 10 skins. I love every single one of them. They're all just amazing. But I'm actually going to have to give it to Sentinel for this one. Because, honestly, he stands out above the rest to me, without a doubt. He just looks so cool. And also specifically referring to the dark style. If he only had the chicken style, then he would not be touching this at all whatsoever. But that dark style, it just looks so sick, so menacing. Reminds me of a Decepticon. It looks absolutely BA. It's so cool, and he definitely deserves the #1 spot for this one. Now, as for my least favorite, again, I think I'm going to have to give it to the meme skin, which is Bunker Jonesy. I just don't think they hit the mark that well with this one. But personally, he's just not my kind of skin. Okay, he's homeless Tfue, whatever. So I can understand why some people do like it, but personally, he's just not for me. Alright, and now moving on to Season 10 or Season X, whatever you want to call it. Again, just a phenomenal Battle Pass. And for my #1, I gotta give it to Ultima Knight. Catalyst is great too, and so is the Eternal Voyager, but none of them can compete with the Ultima Knight. Without a doubt, my favorite Knight skin in the game, and again, I just gotta say, Tier 100's absolutely crushing it out here in the competition. Now, as for my least favorite, I'd say almost everything in here is great, except for one skin, and that's gonna have to be the Scientist. Everything else I would say is at least a solid, like, 8.5 out of 10. This one, though, not terrible, but still not that good. And I would say it's probably one of the few times where they did, like, a rehash skin of an old character, and it actually didn't really improve on the original whatsoever. You would think they would have, considering the backlash the Visitor got, but I don't think this one is actually nearly as good as the Visitor, nor the Paradigm, nor the Foundation, which hopefully will be getting as a skin at some point this season. So, I don't think it's a terrible skin, but again, compare it to everything else in this Battle Pass, which is, again, like one of the strongest Battle Passes we've ever seen. I don't think it can really compare. Alright, and now moving on to Chapter 2, Season 1, the first season of the brand new chapter. And in my opinion, there's only 2 skins that can really compete for this one, which is 8-Ball vs. Scratch, specifically Corrupted Scratch, and Fusion. I do love Corrupted Scratch, but it can't really compete with Fusion, honestly. So, therefore, I'm giving it to Fusion. Fusion, just a great Tier 100 skin, and in my opinion, probably one of the more underrated Tier 100 skins in today's standards. It just looks so cool, such a BA skin. I still really love rocking this. Now, for my least favorite, this was kind of a weird one because it seems like there's nothing that's particularly terrible in here. There's just mostly a bunch of boring stuff. But I'm going to have to give it to Turk vs. Riptide just for being such a disappointing Tier 1 skin. Like, how are you going to justify giving us rarity, plain Fisherman, and Mountain Hiking Tier 1 skins this late in the game? I don't understand. Like, we've had Catalyst, we've had Zenith, Sentinel, Rocks, Drift, Carbide, all these other phenomenal skins in the past as Tier 1 skins. And then they just suddenly drop this to us. Nah, I ain't taking that. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I refuse to accept it. All right, honestly, you can take that skin and just throw it in the garbage for all I care. All right, just get it out of my locker. I don't want to see it ever again. Alright, and now moving on to Chapter 2, Season 2. This is definitely a weird one because I'm actually not a huge fan of this Battle Pass. But just to get out of the way, first of all, my favorite, 110% has to go to Midas. He carries this Battle Pass by absolute miles. I didn't originally like him when he first came out all that much, but nowadays, he is, without a doubt, one of the best Tier 100 skins that we've ever seen in my eyes. Really love the design of it, love the whole James Bond villain feel he has. Now, as for my least favorite, again, there's nothing in here that I particularly hate. It's mostly just a bunch of stuff that I'm, like, neutral towards. But I think I'm actually going to have to give this one to Agent Peely, simply for the fact that it just shouldn't have been in the Battle Pass. In my opinion, he really should have just been an item shop skin. I think it was not a great idea for them to put a Peely reskin as a Tier 1 skin in a new Battle Pass. I'm really not a big fan of that. I think it actually is, in fact, one of the better Peely skins out there. But, again, it really just shouldn't have been in the Battle Pass, especially as a Tier 1 skin. So, therefore, I think because of that, I'm going to have to give him the lowest spot here. Alright, and now moving on to Chapter 2, Season 3. Again, I think that there's only two main contenders for this one, which is the Tier 1 skin Fate and the Tier 100 Eternal Night. Both of them are amazing 10 out of 10 skins, but I think we're going to have to give a slight edge to the Eternal Night here. Just an amazing skin, and while I don't quite prefer to the Ultimate Night, still think she's absolutely amazing and still one of the best Night skins we've ever seen. An absolutely amazing Tier 100 skin. Now moving on to my least favorite. This one's a little bit tough. Okay, you got Kit, can't really hate on him. Siona, I think, is actually underrated. Jules is pretty solid. Aquaman, in my opinion, is actually one of the better DC skins. So I think the only thing left that I could possibly give it to is Ocean. Not necessarily a bad skin, but still, I don't think she stands out to me as much, and probably one of the more boring skins from that Battle Pass. So, therefore, I think I'm going to give it to her. Plus, also, she's a little bit too sweaty for my liking, so that definitely doesn't help her case. Alright, now this is where things are going to get interesting. Chapter 2, Season 4, aka the Marvel season, aka the crossover season, aka the ad season, whatever you call it. But I do actually think this is a really good Battle Pass, because crossover skins in general, again, have just been really growing on me recently. So I think really just whatever your favorite character is, it just comes down to preference of what your favorite Marvel character is in general. But honestly, I gotta give this one to Dr. Doom. He's my favorite Marvel skin in the game, so without a doubt, he has to come number one on this. As for my least favorite, I definitely don't think this is a bad skin by any means, but I'm gonna have to give it to Groot. I just think he's a good character. Don't get me wrong, a great character. But as for a Fortnite skin, I'm really not digging it all that much, and it doesn't really help his case that he also probably looks the weakest with the extra foil styles. So again, a great character. Absolutely love watching him in Guardians of the Galaxy. But as a Fortnite skin, not really digging it all that much. Alright, and now, Chapter 2, Season 5, again, a very interesting one. This is actually my favorite Battle Pass of all time, and the reason for that is because I personally think almost any skin in here could have been, like, changed it a little bit, and they could have been, like, one of those legendary progressive Tier 1 or Tier 100 skins. So, any of them could have been, honestly, a contender for this. But my personal favorite, I gotta give it to Condor. I just love the design of it. Such a sick, BA, unique design. It's so amazing. Menace is great too. Mandalorian's awesome. Everything in here is awesome. But without a doubt, the one that stands out to me the most is Condor. Now, for my least favorite, I think it's just, again, another one of those cases where I'm going to have to give it to the meme skin, unfortunately, just because everything else is so good. So, unfortunately, that's going to have to be Mancake. But honestly, even as a meme skin, I think this is actually one of the more strong ones. I do like the design of it. Okay, cowboy, flapjack guy. I actually do like how it looks. So, the fact that this is the weakest one just goes to show how phenomenal this Battle Pass really is, because it is 110% my favorite Battle Pass of all time. Alright, and then finally, to close off our list, we are at our current Battle Pass, which is Chapter 2, Season 6. And I'm going to stand by what I said when I ranked every skin in the new Battle Pass. And I'm going to give my favorite to the Spire Assassin. Just an amazing Tier 100 skin, and without a shadow of a doubt, my new favorite female Tier 100. It just looks so sick, such a unique and epic design. I love everything about it, and I certainly can't wait to unlock this one, and I also can't wait to unlock some extra styles for it. And then for my least favorite, again, I'm just going to have to give it to the meme skin, which is Cluck. It's not a terrible skin, but even as a meme skin, I'm still just not really a huge fan of this one. I definitely don't think it deserves to be as high up of a tier as it is. It's like, I think like tier 70 something maybe. Not quite sure on that, but yeah, it's like not a terrible skin, but still, in my opinion, without a doubt, the weakest one that this battle pass has had to offer. Alright, but that's going to wrap it up for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to leave a big fat thumbs up and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. What are your favorite and least favorite skins from every battle pass? But with that said, I hope you enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.